Okay, so now we're at 7 minutes and I'm going to start to check, all right? And you need to be careful when you do that because these beans are hot, all right? So I'm going to open the oven. I'm going to take out a few samples of beans, put them in a bowl, close it back up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to break them open. I'm going to try and break into them. This one's a little tough, all right? And I don't think we have quite our roast yet. But here we go, all right? So we taste in, we get off, and we take out a piece of the cotyledon, the nib, and we taste it. It's still a little rubbery, all right? So that rubberiness tells me that the beans are not yet finished. The roast is not done. Yeah, it's still a little crunch, it's still a little rubbery. So we're just gonna let it go. You're gonna have to bear with me and watch because we're down to it. I can't stop now. And if you were here with me, you could smell my whole workshop here is filled with this delicious odor of roasting cacao. And that is a signal that you're getting there, all right? When the beans start to smell and you get that distinctive chocolate note, then you're about ready, all right? And you should start checking. So now we're at 5 minutes. And this is kind of a critical stage, at least in the first roast. So I have to keep doing it, all right? So I just keep sampling beans. I just keep getting them out, getting that cotyledon and tasting it. And it's still a little rubbery. It's still a bit rubbery. And so, got to continue, got to keep going. Yeah, and you can tell kind of when you break the bean if it's rubbery or not. I'm getting there. We're close. We're close. Tastes good. There's a lot, and I can taste the flavor of the beans. These beans from Venezuela, they have a very unique flavor. It's not fruity. It's not so much fruity as spicy, and they're kind of a complex, spicy. There's a little bit of fruit, but not the same type of fruit you find in, like, say, a Trinidad or a Grenada, or even some of your El Salvador beans are very fruity as well. So let's try it again. Take out a few. Yeah, we're almost there. Yeah, we hit the crunch, so we're at the right place. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, again, get my scale, and I want to see what my weight is, all right? So the beans are done, all right? And take them out. Now, some people use a hot mitt. Again, I've got my bowl taired, all right? And I'm just putting these beans in there, all right? And I want to weigh them because remember, we started at about 500 grams, all right? And so, after roasting, now I took some out, so I'm going to put those in, put those back in. And so we started out at 500 grams. And now what we have is we have roughly 480 grams, all right? So if we make a calculation, we do 500 minus 480. So we have 20 grams of moisture went off in the roast, all right? And 20 divided by 500 is about 4% moisture. So we've lost about 4% moisture. The beans are roughly 7.5% moisture. So we're down to like 3.5, all right? That's about right for what we're doing, all right? And so what I'll do now, because I don't want them to continue to roast, all right? So I'm going to do what they call quench the roast. And quenching the roast is just, I'm just going to spread them out and let that heat dissipate, all right? And just let that All right, and I'm just gonna let them sit. And then when they get to be roughly maybe 120, 130 degrees, really can't tell. This is just an eyeball, but still warm. Then we're gonna winnow them, all right? So we're done roasting. We've done the roast. We've got the roast we want. Now we've got to take the shells off and get the nibs, and that's what we'll use to make our chocolate. So I'll be back when we start the winnowing process.